Yeah, this is a challenge that goes out to SpaceX and really any space agency.
A challenge! What could go wrong? Hi, welcome back. That's right, a flat earther has issued a challenge. Now nobody likes a challenge more than me, except for my wife and a few of her friends and the guys next door actually. Come to think of it, most people like a challenge more than me, but in this case the challenge is to SpaceX. So who is making this challenge? Oh god, not P-Brain.
Yeah, this is a challenge that goes out to SpaceX and really any space agency.
Okay, so a challenge to any space agency, but particularly SpaceX. Why SpaceX?
But I know SpaceX said that they, or at least they show that their rockets land backwards, right? They come butt first back to the Earth.
Ha! You said but.
Flame first. So use that, and what I want you to do is get a rocket, and you can afford to expend a rocket.
Oh, they can afford to. I don't have to pay.
I mean, after all, this is for, you can shut up all the flat earthers.
The Uzi 9mm.
Well, that's one way to shut them up.
You can shut up all the flat earthers with this one. You can just prove us that we live on a rotating ball.
Well, P-Brain, I can see two problems with that. Firstly, it's already proven that we live on a rotating ball, and secondly, it has already been evidence that the ball we're living on is rotating. I realise that's actually the same thing, but it's such a biggie I thought it was worth mentioning twice.
You can just prove us that we live on a rotating ball by going to the North Pole and launching your rocket from there.
Just what the f***?
By going to the North Pole and launching your rocket from there. And why the North Pole? Because there's no spin at the North Pole. It's basically completely still.
Do you not see a bit of a problem here, P-Brain? You said that SpaceX can afford to lose a rocket. That rocket launch costs around $50 million plus. And that's when it's launching from a prepared launch site. You're proposing we cart this rocket to the North Pole and launch from the ice pack, which is about 3 to 4 meters thick, when a rocket weighs about 550 tons.
Oh dear.
Well, I suppose you'd better give us your reasoning behind this.
There's no movement to speak of. Zero.
White Van Man, what do you know about the rotation of the Earth at the North Pole?
I'm not sure, but I like fluffy kittens. I like fluffy kittens a lot.
Me too.
So you can launch your rocket straight up, get above the atmosphere, or the rotating atmosphere, and now you are in inertial space. So fix yourself on the stars that in your model are not moving, right? It's the Earth that's moving. Head down to the equator, fixed on a star.
P-Brain. Rockets do not just go straight up, turn 90 degrees and then fly off. They fly in an arc, usually launching as close to the equator as possible to get the maximum benefit of the tangential velocity of the rotation of the Earth.
And the ground should start rotating underneath the rocket from west to east, and the atmosphere, the air, should also be rotating at ever faster speeds, right? So when you get to the equator, it's got to be moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Does anyone see where he's going with this?
So then I want you to descend from space, butt first, as your rockets do, and you should now be hit with 1,000 mile per hour rotating atmosphere. Of course, it's going to be a little thinner at first because the air is thinner up high, and as you come down, it's going to thicken, right? And so that 1,000 mile per hour will be much more damaging, of course. And let's see you do it. Land that rocket, and of course you won't. And this is again to show the absurdity of this whole thing, that the Earth is a spinning ball.
I just can't take the stupid anymore. I think I'm having a heart attack. Oh.
Hello, I'm the Mark 17 Emergency Backup Holographic Mr. Sensible. I am programmed with 273 sexual techniques. I'm sorry, that program is not appropriate right now. P-Brain, you complete and utter gimboid. If you wish to demonstrate the rotation of the Earth, there are many, many ways that are much cheaper than your scientific experiment. For instance, you could look at sunrise and sunset. You could watch the speed the sun travels across the sky. You could fire a sniper's bullet and see the Coriolis effect. You could watch the precession of a pendulum. You can see the northern and southern stellar rotation. You could watch the stars using an equatorial mount. Of course, you could watch footage from the many rocket launches. Only you just don't accept it and just claim it's CGI. So exactly what advantage you think there'll be in SpaceX launching a rocket for your test is beyond me. Because the first thing you're going to say is, it's CGI. P-Brain, please, please stop with this stupid. You've already damaged Mr. Sensible, and many, many other fine people are getting damaged by your stupidity. And quite why do you think SpaceX and the other space agencies are worried about flat earthers is beyond me. Do you really think that they're concerned with what you think? Do you really think that they are trying to show and prove to you that the Earth is a globe and it rotates? No. I'm afraid that you and the other flat earthers are a mindless bunch of jerks who'll be first against the wall when the revolution comes. Sorry, I think that technique 73C, using a whisk and Sagadi, looks quite interesting. I think I've got better things to do. Until next time, stay sensible.